And welcome everybody to Wrestling with Alcohol. I am your host, Ed Ray1416. I have a co-host coming up very shortly, and you know about him very well. His name is Adam of Opinions in Beer, co-creator of Opinions in Beer. And the purpose of this broadcast is to talk about professional wrestling while we give our opinion on professional wrestling and give you the alcohols of the day, whether it's beer, wine, vodka, whiskey, whatever have you. Now, on Wrestling with Alcohol, we're not just going to talk about opinions on wrestling. We're also going to review wrestling. We're going to express some of our good moments of wrestling and some of the moments of wrestling that pretty much cause us to get enraged. Now, we don't just talk about alcohol. We could also talk about foods on occasions, such as what the perfect food is to eat for the wrestling events, say like pizza or wings or whatever. And we're about to get this thing started right now.
Getting everything set up. Talk about Smackdown and what your thoughts were in the first week.
Now, the first week of the Smackdown premiere on Fox, it was a pretty good opener. I mean, The Rock was at his usual stick of roasting wrestlers, and he roasted Baron Corbin. But the problem with what The Rock did last week was he not only buried Baron Corbin, but he also pretty much shot down the concept of King of the Ring, and that is exactly what made me hate the show from the get-go. Now, the wrestling matches, some of the wrestling matches were okay, and the main issue I had was Brock Lesnar versus Kofi Kingston with a 9-second squash match. I mean, every time Kofi Kingston has faced Brock Lesnar, Brock would always dominate Kofi. He would never let Kofi get in any offense. I mean, Brock is supposed to be a monster and such, and here comes Adam, the co-host of this show, Wrestling with Alcohol.
I'm getting all the drinks and stuff set up, and but we're starting Fox now, and we're about 12 minutes late, so we don't know if we missed any of the. I think the opening match is supposed to be Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns, and the opening match is supposed to be Seth Rollins and Roman freaking Reigns, baby.
Okay, and so while we're getting ourselves set up, I want to continue with the Brock Lesnar versus Kofi Kingston situation. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's at a house show or in Japan or even on Smackdown, Brock would never sell for Kofi. Now, I don't know why Brock would never sell for Kofi, considering that Kofi is a big name in the day compared to a couple of years ago when he was just nothing more than a mid-carder with a crappy gimmick. Now, what else? Much like Opinions in Beer with Adam, Adam's going to talk about a beer and wine product because I do a segment on Opinions in Beer called Whining with Ed Ray or something like that, so it's going to be no different here for Wrestling with Alcohol. We have not missed Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. Oh, and I want to point this out here on SmackDown. Today is the WWE Draft. Is going to be going on Raw next week is going to be a very interesting. Oh, yeah. Rollins versus Reigns is in progress, so few minutes of the match, but right now, Seth Rollins has. Well, he did have a chin lock on him, and now Rollins is setting up Roman Reigns for the suplex right here.
Jumps. Always coming up to the top rope. Oh, frog splash.
It will never be as good as Eddie Guerrero's frog splash. And Eddie Guerrero was, if he were alive, his birthday was on Wednesday.
Oh, really?
He would have been 52 on that day. Seth Rollins. Now, I'm going to say this. Even though Seth Rollins is annoying, I will say that he is talented. Now, if Rollins wasn't so annoying, the lights go out. Here we go. It's about to be the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. Once again, this is happening, and I'm going to say this right now. Bray Wyatt should have been Universal Champion at Hell in a Cell. Yet he came through the ring, and he's going to drag Seth Rollins down with the mandible claw. This is some Undertaker-type levels of surreal. And there he goes. And where did Roman Reigns go? Did he disappear too? Did he run out? Oh, there's smoke. And there goes Seth Rollins. He must have battled the Fiend to come back. But there is no sign of Roman Reigns anywhere. And this is... Alright, this is getting a little interesting now because it's actually Bray Wyatt coming through the ring. Alright, now we got something interesting to talk about. The Fiend Bray Wyatt. The controversy regarding Hell in a Cell, and there goes the lights again. What's going to happen again?
He's laughing.
Oh, I think this is about to be commercial break number 1 for wrestling with alcohol. Oh, the flashing lights. That's going to give a lot of people seizures. So for any of you that have epilepsy, please turn away from the screen right now. Well, we're back right now, and the WWE draft has officially begun. Now,
we have Becky Lynch to Raw, Roman Reigns to SmackDown, the OC to Raw, Bray Wyatt to SmackDown, and Drew McIntyre to Raw.
Now we see why the WWE Universal Championship belt was not put on Bray Wyatt. It was because he was being drafted to SmackDown. The rumors have been confirmed. He is part of SmackDown now.
Yeah, because Fox begged for him. Because that's why they started using him for promotional stuff for SmackDown. They want him to be, especially with Masked Singer. They have a popular show right now called Masked Singer, and it's like other than SmackDown, it's like their second most viewed show that's like SmackDown, like an entertainment type show. Where it's not like a scripted. And so I think they want to have Bray Wyatt be featured in a lot more Fox programming to like have like appearances and stuff. And so I think they want to put Bray Wyatt in the Masked Singer at some point as like a guest.
And I think the money deal for Bray Wyatt on SmackDown is a lot bigger than the money deal that he had for Raw after he repackaged his character as the Fiend. He used to start off as a swamp guy, but he's now the Fiend.
Yeah, now he's a Fiend, and he's like a Mr. Rogers type, scary Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, originally this was not a good idea because WWE thought they were going to lose money on the stock market because of the Bray Wyatt character, but it proved to be very successful, both in terms of entertainment and business.
Yeah.
And now here comes King Corbin. We don't know if King Corbin is going to be part of Raw or SmackDown. We'll have to find out later as the draft continues. But
so what do you think about what's changed so far? It looks like Becky Lynch is going to Raw, and she was a SmackDown person, huh?
Let's see. Becky Lynch was part of Raw technically.
Oh.
And then she got drafted to Raw because she is the Raw Women's Champion, so it makes sense to have her drafted there because there's a long-term plan for Becky Lynch, in my opinion.
And then the OC went to Raw. There wasn't really much. The only interesting thing right there was probably Bray Wyatt. I think because Roman Reigns was already on SmackDown, so he got redrafted to SmackDown.
With Bray Wyatt officially drafted to SmackDown, it makes you wonder, will Bray Wyatt and Brock Lesnar face each other for the WWE Championship? You don't think it's possible that he's going to face Brock Lesnar at some point 6 months down the road?
No.
And why is that?
Because they're going to put him against the other guy.
Cain Velasquez?
Yeah.
But the problem with Cain Velasquez is as good of
but he's more timid. WWE is gonna find Cain Velasquez more timid and more easily. Basically, they're gonna find Cain Velasquez is more easy to work with. In terms of like a Bray Wyatt type storyline, I don't see Brock Lesnar selling to Bray Wyatt's gimmick.
I don't think the Brock Lesnar feud with Cain Velasquez is going to go anywhere. I don't think it's going to go all the way to WrestleMania.
No, I think Cain Velasquez doesn't win because Bray Wyatt attacks Cain Velasquez.
So, essentially what you're going to say, tell me, is that he would have to beat Cain Velasquez before he could get to Brock Lesnar. Is that what you're telling me?
I think WWE is going to find themselves in a weird corner. And Cain Velasquez versus Brock Lesnar at the Saudi Arabia event is going to end in controversy. I think Bray Wyatt will attack Cain Velasquez. And I think Brock Lesnar will then move on to either face Kofi Kingston again and give Kofi an actual chance, or the big rumor is that they're actually going to give Big E a chance and we're going to get a Big E versus Brock Lesnar match.
This isn't going to work because they already put the belt on a black man and the black man didn't deliver. And I don't think Big E is going to be a draw for WWE. I think for a while they should try to lay off trying to push black wrestlers until further notice, until they can find a black wrestler that is incredibly over with the crowd.
Kofi is over with the crowd.
He was up until after he won the championship. He was being protected way too much.
I don't know. You don't think Big E? Big E's pretty edgy.
Yeah, but he needs to turn heel if he wants to get my attention. His babyface gimmick is nothing.
What's it saying?
Says, enjoy your preview pass for the next 37 minutes, 22 seconds.
Oh, okay.
What does this mean?
Huh? Oh, I'm doing something illegal to be able to watch SmackDown.
We're going to have to edit that out.
Why?
Because you admitted to something illegal.
Well, it's not illegal. I just found a flaw in the system. Basically, I don't have Fox TV, but I do have Fox Now. And Fox Now, you can get a free subscription, or you can get a free, not subscription, a free trial on Fox Now every time you install it. So I have to uninstall. So after our 30-minute trial, actually, I think it's like a 40-minute trial or something. After our 40-minute trial, then you'll have to uninstall it and then reinstall it quickly to watch the rest of SmackDown.
Looks like Fox Now is in trouble with the loophole.
But anyways, you have a wine here, Ed Ray. This is wrestling
with alcohol.
Wrestling with alcohol. We are 30 minutes in, and we have not touched a sip of alcohol. I've been sipping on this rain. And let me go grab one of my beers, and you go ahead and start off on your what's this? Oh, they're talking about draft. They're talking about the draft. Go ahead and crack open that wine and start drinking it, and we'll just start drinking your wine and review it as we watch.
Alright, so right now, as I am reviewing this wine, I want to go ahead and say that Troy Aikman and Joe Buck doing a little commentary right now on SmackDown. Why do we even need football guys or any other sports guys out there? Oh, wait, because it's Fox Sports and Friday Night SmackDown is part of Fox. Well, while they're talking their heads off anyway, I'm going to start with this Australian wine called Salver Merlot. It is boisterous black cherry flavors with a rich chocolatey finish. And this is going to be high in antioxidants right here. This was produced over in Austria, in a city called Tharbergang, and it was imported in Manhasset, New York. This is 12.5% alcohol by volume. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this. In the meantime, we are having a match on SmackDown right now with, once again, King Corbin versus Chad Gable, or Shorty Gable. I hate this Shorty Gable name because it is an insult to what Chad Gable brings to the table on SmackDown and his entire professional wrestling career as of 2019 has become a joke.
And Raw, wasn't it? Was it Raw that he accepted, or was it no? It was the pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell. He's like the announcer called him Shorty Gable. He's like, I like that name now. I'm Shorty Gable.
I don't know who in creative team is on crack when they made that name and convinced Chad Gable to. I'm going to call him Chad Gable because that's the name right there.
I think Vince McMahon didn't want to push him because of how short he was. And so, to push him, he had to adopt a short name.
All right, let's go ahead and let me go ahead and sniff this wine. All right, now for the taste.
A Salver wine, Salver Merlot. Woo!
Very strong, but it has a taste to it. So, let's see.
Oh, King Corbin chunking them.
Well, it does have a taste to it, like other wines. It's not Carlo Rossi wine that I constantly talk about on another podcast, Opinions of Beer. But I'm going to say, I don't know if I have to give a rating like I do on the other podcast, but just for formality's sake, I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
And now Adam wants to go ahead and review his beer.
So, with today on drinking
Wrestling
with alcohol. Today I'm going to wrestle with a nice Torpedo, Sierra Nevada's Torpedo Extra IPA. It has 65 IBUs. It is a Torpedo L. It's a big American IPA, balanced yet full of flavor. I feel like this beer is going to be just a hot bomb by Sierra Nevada. It's what I think it is. I love their standard IPA, Lissa. I think they make. Oh no, that's St. Arnold's. I don't know what else. I can't remember what Sierra Nevada's main IPA is right now for some reason. Maybe it's just Sierra Nevada IPA. But I'm gonna try this Torpedo here. I haven't had this extra IPA. Extra IPA makes me think it's gonna be just a big old hot bomb in my mouth and be super bitter and medicine-y. Let's see.
All right. So while he's having his first sip, in the meantime, King Corbin is pounding away at Chad Gable.
That's a pretty standard IPA. Maybe I like IPA. I really like IPAs now. It's not a hot bomb like I thought it was. That aftertaste. I've had better IPAs. Elissa by St. Arnold. I'm sorry, Sierra Nevada. You are like a poor man's St. Arnold's. If I lived in any other state, you'd be amazing. But I mean, we have St. Arnold's here in Texas, so that's just what it is. I think I'm gonna give Torpedo Extra IPA a quick 5 out of 10.
And now we are back on commercial break.
Back in commercial. So let's I guess maybe we should continue talking about these.
Oh, be careful. Looks like Adam started tipping over a little bit and it affected the table.
What happened? Just eat it somewhere. You can eat it with us. You can talk with us if you want. This is not Opinions and Beer. This is Wrestling with Alcohol. Yeah, he can eat it. He can talk. This is Wrestling with Alcohol. Yeah.
Oh, the Cheez-It pizza. You want to talk about that during the commercial break or what?
Oh, it smells so good.
You ever tried that Cheez-It pizza?
Oh, Cheez-It pizza. No. You had that?
No, I'm kind of interested in having that if I ever earn some more dollars.
I don't want no damn Cheez-Its.
Obviously.
No, Cheez-Its would be better. Yeah, Cheez-Its are good, though. For some reason, I thought you were saying Cheese Nips. Cheese Nips are horrible.
Cheese Nips are horrible. That's why Pizza Hut decided to make a pizza out of Cheez-It instead of Cheese Nips.
Yeah, Cheese Nips are cat dog food.
I know it's kind of irrelevant to wrestling, but sometimes we have to react to commercials at times.
So, what do you think a big draft name is going to be in this? I really hope Corbin goes to Raw because I don't want to see him on SmackDown. I don't think he brings anything to SmackDown.
Well, if he's king of the ring, well, that's gonna be a tough one. But I will say this though: I think Raw would be a better choice for King Corbin because King Corbin is ratings to Raw, whether we like it or not.
I just don't think SmackDown wants to be like. They want to have all like this. I don't know. They may keep King Corbin because his name's King Corbin. That's like SmackDown executives. They want all the characters, but they also want it to be like a real sport. So I don't know what they're looking for.
Yeah, because my concern is if Fox cannot make SmackDown look more like an entertaining sport instead of sports entertainment, then the ratings are going to dip in the subsequent weeks.
Like, for some reason, I feel like SmackDown should really present itself like it was a boxing show or like a UFC show, like all those action sports where they actually put like the two people next to each other had their stats, and it's just like I feel like they could do a lot more to make it actually look like a fight show than what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let me tell you something. Wrestling on network television isn't anything like wrestling on cable television. Because there's always a different atmosphere, different crowds, different demographics constantly.
I also feel like the camera angles are weird. As far as like
a deep six turned into a bulldog. Can you believe that?
That was pretty good.
I have never seen a counter like that before.
I just think that if they wanted to actually make this... Oh, look, they have like a little banner thing.
Yeah, this banner thing is pointing out who's all been drafted so far.
Oh, look, Drew McIntyre to Raw.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they can push Drew McIntyre.
Isn't Drew McIntyre like injured or something?
Either he may be cleared to wrestle now, because if he was not cleared to wrestle, he wouldn't be counted as part of the draft because he'd be on the disabled.
I think they should. I think all the legitimate fighters should come to SmackDown.
You think Chad Gable should be part of SmackDown since he's legitimate?
Yeah, I guess Chad Gable should be SmackDown. I think Bobby Lashley could come to SmackDown.
After the opening of Raw with him and Lana, no, he'll stay. Let him stay on Raw.
Why? We could have him versus Lesnar finally. Or
yeah,
him
but Bobby Lashley is entertaining on Raw. If you bring him to SmackDown, then that storyline with Lana is meaningless.
The storyline would be fun if they bring Rusev to SmackDown, and then immediately they draft Bobby Lashley to SmackDown. So it's like Rusev can't get away from Bobby Lashley.
Well, as time goes on, we're gonna see who else is gonna be drafted to SmackDown. I mean, if Rusev gets drafted to SmackDown and Bobby Lashley stays on Raw, where is he gonna go from there?
I have no idea.
I'm sorry, folks, for you that hears that suspicious background noise. That's why people shouldn't be spoiling kids with iPads.
Oh my God, you're spoiled. Your parents spoiled you with a computer.
Yeah, but iPads didn't exist in my day, so if I needed information,
I bet you they would have spoiled you. They would have given it to you. You had an N64. I didn't have an N64. You had one.
How's that any different from an iPad?
You had Sega. You had game systems before I did.
Yeah, but iPads.
So you were spoiled.
iPads are not games. iPads are information.
But you can use them you can make them kid mode where they're only games and videos.
Oh, great. Here we go again.
Oh, he's hurt. Throw up the crosses.
Oh, I think Chad Gable's going to play possum with Baron Corbin. Oh. Like right there. That was a victory roll right there. And he's turning it into an ankle lock. They are always imitating Kurt Angle with the ankle lock.
Well, they want to make Chad Gable Kurt Angle.
I'd like to see Chad Gable should have been the son of Kurt Angle and not Jason Jordan. I think that was a mistake.
Yeah.
Because Chad Gable knows how to wrestle and he knows how to electrify a crowd just like Kurt Angle did. And look at it, end of days, and it's over. Nobody ever kicks out of that move. Out of all the end of days I've seen, the most controversial so far is when King Corbin gave Becky Lynch the end of days.
Heck yeah.
Because when King Corbin gave Becky Lynch the end of days, he got death threats.
At least Baron Corbin, he's a lot more he seems a lot better with the shaved head than back in the day when he had the long hair.
Yeah, because he was already going bald. He was starting to look like a fit earthquake, if you can believe that. Could you imagine an earthquake
Look,
was skinny?
they have like Fox NFL. Look, they have like a.
Yeah, they had the Fox NFL commentary team earlier. Now they got the Fox NFL analyst team with Howie Long, Terry Bradshaw, and a bunch of nobodies.
Oh, look, Terry Bradshaw.
Terry Bradshaw.
He's in a lot of movies.
There's look at that, the late Dusty Rhodes being displayed right there, and that was a classic moment. And honestly, I wish they wouldn't put so much celebrity power into a wrestling show like this, because honestly, it's getting annoying. It's dragging time, and it's not building to anything. Oh.
Oh, they're right there.
And looks like the draft is back on. Here is round 2 of the draft. So it's time to pay attention to see who's next.
Yes.
Okay, Randy Orton is officially drafted to Monday Night Raw.
Oh.
And this is not fun. They might as well draft the Revival to Raw too.
Man.
And this was predicted. Sasha Banks is on Smackdown.
Which is why she lost.
Well, not only that, but the hair color is perfect for her to work on SmackDown because her hair color is blue. Ricochet on Raw. I guess he'll work on Raw. He should have been SmackDown material.
Yeah, I think doesn't Paul Heyman want to work with Ricochet, or was that someone else?
Well, I think he said he wanted to work with Ricochet,
Yeah,
so he may get a push.
Where's he going?
He is going to SmackDown.
Yes.
It's
he belongs on SmackDown.
Yeah, I think Braun Strowman will
Which
get
means-
the ratings up on SmackDown.
Basically, I'm just watching for people that will compete against Lesnar.
Okay, Bobby Lashley is part of Raw.
Because they had to separate them. They had to separate Lashley and Braun Strowman.
Well, that's a good thing, because they already ran their course. I guess that's it for right now, and I guess another round is going to come up toward the last few minutes of SmackDown. Well, SmackDown is still in its first hour, so there could be a couple of more rounds left. So here to recap, Randy Orton on Raw, Sasha Banks on SmackDown, Ricochet on Raw, Braun Strowman on SmackDown, and Bobby Lashley on Raw.
So right now, Braun Strowman and then Bray Wyatt to SmackDown are two really good picks. Those are significant picks.
Well, let's hope that the next few picks are going to be very interesting.
Which means we at some point will get Braun Strowman versus Bray Wyatt.
Oh, it would be nice to see Braun Strowman versus Bray Wyatt. And I think if that were the case, Bray Wyatt would get over on Braun Strowman.
Sadly.
What do you mean, sadly?
Well,
Braun Strowman is a joke.
Why?
Because he can't win the World Championship belt. He's had 8 title opportunities, and he couldn't capitalize once. Meanwhile, Bray Wyatt has won the WWE Championship belt one time.
You're right, he has, huh?
Yeah, he won it at Elimination Chamber, I want to say a couple of years ago, and then lost it to Randy Orton in that very awful match.
Yeah.
And now they are doing a recap on SmackDown. They bring on.
Oh yeah, I saw a backstage thing where Tyson Fury knocked out Cesaro.
There was a backstage thing. Cesaro was trying to fight him.
Yeah, I think Cesaro was one of the wrestlers trying to separate him from Braun Strowman. When the cameras cut off, I guess there was like an after show, like a after Raw recording, and it showed Tyson Fury knock out Cesaro, And then Cesaro had to go against a match against The Miz, and then Bray Wyatt came out and put Cesaro in his move in the fingers in the mouth. You know what it's called.
I honestly think that this match between Braun Strowman and Tyson Fury is going to be boring. I mean, they couldn't even throw a fist in this confrontation that they had.
Oh yeah, that's why they need Braun Strowman on SmackDown to go against like boxers and UFC people, like the Big Show used to do.
Yeah, but at least Big Show knew how to wrestle. Braun Strowman, all he does is power slam people, and that's it.
Whatever, he's like jumping and doing kicks and all kinds of stuff.
Braun Strowman on a cell phone, that's not even interesting one bit. Too bad there's no Tyson Fury versus Shane McMahon.
Look, Crown Jewel officially announced Tyson Fury versus Braun Strowman.
Oh yeah, these people are going to go to Saudi Arabia to get their sweet Saudi money, their sweet blood money.
Is that on Halloween?
Yep, they announced it on October 31st, so that's going to be a terrible Halloween for them. Having to go to Saudi Arabia anyway.
Well, it might be scary to go there.
You think Tyson Fury could knock out those Arabs?
I don't know. Oh my goodness.
All right, what do we talk about now?
Little commercial here. We can pause. Do you want to pause and come back when the show comes back on?
Yeah, let's do it.
Right now, we're seeing some recaps of last week's SmackDown. Obviously, we saw the lame, quick loss by Kofi Kingston, but then it was obviously done to build up Cain Velasquez. When Cain Velasquez comes in and punches him, they had to do something to build up Cain Velasquez because his physique isn't that impressive. A lot of people complain. Even Chris Jericho. Oh shoot! I didn't know he was on. Chris Jericho has actually commented about he insulted Cain Velasquez's physique and said that they have the only good UFC MMA star, and that's Jack Hager.
Well, I'm not.
But I say that Bobby Lashley is the best of the MMA stars. The majority of his losses is like really shady. Like if you rewatch all of his losses, it's basically the referee should have seen like a DQ for the other person, because like he was like getting kicked in the nuts. Like every time he lost, like somebody kicked him in the dick. I'm not even lying.
Supposedly the referee in those Bobby Lashley matches are racist.
Maybe, because like he was kicked in the dick, and then like they locked him in it, like they should have disqualified the person. But every time he lost, it was after he was like an illegal move happened to him, and like the ref did nothing. That's what happens when you do like these weird non-UFC MMA fights.
All right, let's hear what Paul Heyman has to say.
Is Paul Heyman.
Man, Paul Heyman's head gets bigger every year. It's like his head doubles in size every year.
Man, it's gonna be crazy for Paul Heyman. He has to run Raw and then run over to SmackDown to be Brock Lesnar's manager.
I thought after SummerSlam, Paul Heyman was supposed to run Raw, but apparently they wanted to wait until the draft to do that. Is that right?
I don't know. I thought he was running it now. Come out here. Enlighten. Educate. Let's see. Brock Lesnar looking fierce.
He's always looking fierce.
Normal human being. Human being. Run. Oh my god. Paul Heyman is such a good talker, though.
He cuts a promo better than anybody else in WWE today.
What? Nothing. He fears nothing. Ooh.
And you can tell that Brock Lesnar's already red in the face because of that.
Brock Lesnar. I feel like this is when Brock Lesnar turns on Paul Heyman, so Paul Heyman can stick on on Raw. I'm talking.
Yeah, I think Brock Lesnar's gonna give him a punch the same way he gave Braun Strowman a punch to the face.
Last week.
Well, a lot of record books
4 or 5 seconds. He's laughing.
Well, the record book said 9 seconds.
Yeah, 9 seconds.
But still, the way they buried Kofi Kingston is unbelievable.
Conquers his fear. Oh, you think? I really think they're gonna. See, them saying stuff like this makes me feel like, yeah, like I said, Cain Velasquez is gonna get somehow screwed by a Bray Wyatt type or somebody. Ooh, Brock.
Too bad. Yeah, too bad the announcers last week didn't say, that's gotta be Kane. It's gotta be Kane.
Is a spoiler. Oh.
And here comes Rey Mysterio.
Is it with Cain Velasquez or just Rey?
Could be Rey alone. Let's see.
No, nope, Kane's there.
And Kane's going to cut a promo. Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Apparently, Kane was written to not take his shirt off last week, but he was like frightened and took his shirt off. Because he saw Brock Lesnar without a shirt off. Without a shirt on or something. Some footage.
What kind of footage? Of Brock Lesnar getting punched in the face?
Watch. Oh, it's UFC!
Back when Brock was bigger.
No!
Oh, man.
Oh!
And even back then, Kane's physique was not that amazing.
Damn. Kane's just a legitimate, just a badass, I guess, man. Damn.
That's why Brock Lesnar retreated after he got punched a few times.
Yep.
So, Cain Velasquez has better cardio than Brock Lesnar. That's a given. But Brock's got a better physique than Cain Velasquez.
Brock Lesnar was suffering from diverticulitis colitis or whatever.
Well, even if Brock Lesnar was 100%, Cain was a little bit quicker.
What's he saying?
He's saying something in Spanish, so obviously Ray's going to do the translation.
A matching scar. Look. Oh, he has a scar from Cain Velasquez.
That's where the scar came from.
He said, Crown Jewel, I'm going to give you a matching scar. Oh, this is, I mean, you have to admit, the worst part about last week was they did Kofi wrong. But, watching this week, it's a good story. They had to do it. I mean, I guess you didn't need the title in this fight though.
No, I think it was unnecessary.
But Cain Velasquez is signed. He's signed a multi-year. He's a full-time employee of WWE now. He's not a part-timer. So Cain Velasquez is going to be a full-time WWE star. So I guess that's the difference. Is that maybe they need the title. Maybe they are going to put Cain Velasquez with the title at some point and have him be like the champion on SmackDown.
But do you think he's going to have enough star power to carry the belt?
No, he's going to have to rely more on his opponents, on who he faces.
I get it.
So we'll come back when the show comes back on. That's the trailer. We saw New Day getting ready to do something. I don't know what they're doing, but we'll see what happens. So back up, we are here with looks like the OC versus the New Day coming up.
And prior to our return, the New Day presented a couple of special pink belts to breast cancer survivors, and then they got into the ring, and now we're about to have this match between the OC and the New Day.
So far, my biggest problem is that Kofi has not mentioned his loss once on WWE TV.
Which is kind of strange because usually a champion that loses ends up complaining about how they lost the belt or they deserve a rematch, but they're just burying Kofi right there.
Maybe he feels the storyline is that he feels embarrassed that he lost in 5 seconds, 9 seconds.
So I guess what they're going to do is have Kofi, they're going to have Kofi wrestle probably against AJ Styles as part of that tag team match, and now they're starting off with Luke Gallows against Xavier Woods, and now Big E getting into the ring, and Bedlam is breaking loose right now as as Xavier Woods gets double teamed and then thrown into the steps.
I feel like they're just gonna forget that Kofi was champion.
I don't even know if commentary is going to acknowledge it or not.
They might not. They might have considered their first night on SmackDown almost like a new show. Like anything before that night never happened.
Okay, so we're back with Wrestling with Alcohol, and we kind of missed reacting to a few things, but Kofi Kingston did a series of super kicks, and
SOS! Oh, he missed it. AJ Styles. He's going to run Styles Clash. Willie Nell, Kofi Kingston. Oh, reversal. A drop kick. Kofi
dodges the ropes into a calf crusher. No.
Oh, 1, 2. No.
He's gonna go for a death valley driver or what?
AJ Styles is gonna.
No.
Oh!
Trouble in Paradise. Is that it? It is.
As soon as AJ Styles said he was a company man, he's been getting pinned by everybody.
And this is why you do not be loyal to WWE. Because you're going to get buried one way or another.
Well, they'll turn you into an enhancement talent, yeah.
That's why the Revival has not signed new contracts yet.
Well, I think AJ and Styles kind of enjoy. He doesn't. I don't think AJ Styles is one of those people that really care about wins and losses and stuff like that. I feel like he's probably having fun.
Well, he is making the kind of money he needs to support his family.
Yeah, I think that's all he really cares about. Like some people are very they're very into their own character. You know what I mean?
Like Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, and so those people are the ones that get real mad about how they're booked. This isn't real. I mean, it's like being Sean Bean in a movie where Sean Bean dies in every movie he's in. That's just what he does. Some people just lose. It's not a real sport.
And now we're going back to earlier tonight when The Fiend dragged Seth Rollins into the ring with the mandible claw.
But I think the only thing you could do right now with Kofi, you cannot keep him on SmackDown.
Yeah, he's got to go to Raw. That's the only thing.
It's the only thing that makes sense. If he stays on SmackDown, you have to put him against Lesnar again. If you don't, then this is dumb. You have to move Kofi you have to move Kofi.
Yeah, if Kofi Kingston doesn't go to Raw, he's finished.
Yeah, you have to go. You have to send Kofi to Raw. And here we go. We're back with another
round 3 of the draft.
Round 3 of the draft. How many rounds are they doing on SmackDown and Raw?
I think Raw had 3 and SmackDown had 2. All right, looks like Alexa Bliss is going to go to Raw.
Oh, Alexa Bliss to Raw. I think she's been on Raw recently, so that's normal. SmackDown's mad. They're like, oh, man. He was just throwing shit.
Well, we don't care about Lacey Evans one way or another, so she ought to be sent back down to NXT so she can wrestle.
Wasn't she just in a last man standing match?
And the last woman standing, yeah, she lost that one.
Did she do good in it though?
Yeah, she did better than that than any of her matches as of recent. So Kevin Owens is going to be Raw exclusive.
So it made no sense. So his match didn't even matter.
Which means Shane McMahon will be back on television at some point.
No, they want to get rid of the Authority. Revival to SmackDown?
Well, it's only a matter of time before the Revival's contract
Who's
is
the
over.
Raw Tag Team Champions right now?
I don't remember.
And the final pick of the 3rd round, Monday Night Raw selects the Queen of Hearts, Natalya.
I mean, she was already
Well,
there.
that already signifies the end of her feud with Lacey Evans, so this makes sense.
Yeah. They're like painted up and stuff. Okay, so round number 3 so far has been the lamest. Has been the lamest.
Yeah, because all of these are no talented hacks, except for the Revival. I mean, their run's about to come to an end, so what better way for them to end it and being on SmackDown?
What I mean is, like, that had the least implications of anything, though. Yeah. The Rival going to SmackDown doesn't really do anything.
All right, looks like Charlotte versus Bayley tonight on SmackDown. Oh, boy.
What is that? Oh, okay. Here we go. We're going to be back with Charlotte Flair versus Bayley. And we're back. We just saw that the draft will continue on Raw. So we actually have about 30 minutes left of SmackDown. And I think the main event is...
Oh, here we go.
The final
draft. Here we go.
Tonight. Who?
The Viking Raiders, the War Machines, whatever you want to call them.
Okay, that's fine.
They were in NXT as the War Machines.
This is not a good... These last two are random, man.
Oh, no, you've got to be kidding me.
The tag team?
They should be sent back to NXT.
All 3 of them.
Well, they should be sent to NXT, not SmackDown.
Well, hey, they got a job to Lesnar at some point on SmackDown.
So there goes the tag team of Cross and Bliss. So Nikki Cross is going to be on Raw. That's going to be interesting to see her in singles action. Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
That's a good SmackDown to have. I mean, that's a good tag team to have on a show.
Well, hopefully SmackDown will make them legitimate.
But no, they didn't split them up. Alexa Bliss went to Raw in the last draft. So Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross is still a tag team. Remember, Alexa Bliss went to Raw.
Oh, okay.
Final pick.
Oh, so the Street Profits are now officially on the main roster.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and say the first 2 rounds of the draft seemed legitimate and had 2 really good picks for SmackDown.
Okay, to recap, the Viking Raiders on Raw, Lucha House Party on SmackDown, Nikki Cross on Raw, Heavy Machinery on SmackDown, and the Street Profits on Raw.
So, other than Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt, and Heavy Machinery, SmackDown mostly got enhancement talent.
Well, that's gonna sink the ratings of SmackDown in the weeks to come.
Those last 2, I thought it was gonna be like this. The draft does this constantly, where I think maybe it was only the first year of the draft, was that 2006 maybe, where they like first started doing like these drafts and stuff, where like John Cena went from SmackDown to like, there was like every time they did the draft, it was big stars. It was like the main roster, or like the top 10 guys of each thing. It's like 5 of them went to one and then 5 went to the other. You know what I mean?
Okay, so it looks like we got a rematch between Charlotte and Bayley.
But I mean, it's just so, that was so underwhelming. The draft was kind of, other than the first 2 rounds, with them mentioning Braun Strowman to SmackDown and Bray Wyatt to SmackDown. I mean, honestly, the only surprising thing was Braun Strowman to SmackDown. That was surprising. Bray Wyatt, we saw that coming a mile away, and that's why he had to lose to Seth Rollins. And
Sasha Banks the same way. She had to lose to Becky Lynch so she could get on to SmackDown.
And so, other than those 2 picks, and really just the Braun Strowman pick, the draft so far has been pretty underwhelming and nothing really surprising. And it's been a bunch of like, it's been Viking Raiders and Lucha House Party. Like, no one cares where they are. Like, there's certain talent where you care where they are. Like, okay, Randy Orton leaving SmackDown to Raw, that was kind of like oh fuck, SmackDown lost Randy Orton. SmackDown probably needed Randy Orton a little bit, but maybe they've done enough with Randy Orton on SmackDown is why. I mean, he's been kind of like a part of some of the top feuds in SmackDown the last year now, so I guess they have to send him to Raw. But other than those, man, there's nothing that stands out.
This has got to be the weakest draft I've ever seen.
I mean, a lot of the draft picks were people that were already on the show, like Roman Reigns on SmackDown. Like, Roman Reigns was already a SmackDown guy. He was drafted to SmackDown back in the first draft after Mania.
I guess Roman has proven to be a commodity for SmackDown.
But he was already on SmackDown, so they drafted a SmackDown star to SmackDown. That's what didn't make...
I know the wrestling reviewers are going to be super angry at this show tomorrow.
It's just an odd... I mean, I thought they were supposed to talk this draft up, like it's supposed to be legitimate, like, or feel legitimate. And I feel like nobody in their right mind would use one of their draft picks to draft the Viking Raiders. No matter how good they are. That's just not someone that USA executives are aiming to draft. I'm sorry. You know what I mean?
I think this is all Vince McMahon's doing.
It just doesn't... It's just... They wanted it to seem legitimate and real, and it doesn't. I'm sorry, WWE, but it doesn't seem legitimate and real like you wanted it to
SmackDown's starting to
be.
become more cartoony with these drafts.
I mean... It should be fine. We'll see what happens. I mean, obviously, this is a gimmick episode, and just like last week was a gimmick episode, and this week's a gimmick episode. I think after today, starting next week on SmackDown, we will finally have an actual show and not like gimmick shows, and we can actually start judging it on how they're going to present it. You know what I mean? Like, we can actually give real, legitimate judgment on it, because right now it's just gimmicks to try to get a viewership these first 2 weeks. And right now we're sitting on a commercial. We'll come back for the main event. But Ed Ray says Tyson Fury isn't as tough as Mike Tyson.
Yeah, Mike Tyson would pick this man apart in a matter of 30 seconds.
Tyson Fury kind of looks like a bald Russian that would fight Rocky in a Rocky reboot movie.
You think they're gonna have a Ruski for that?
No, I'm just saying. Tyson Fury looks like Draco or something. Oh,
I don't know how Tyson Fury versus Braun Strowman is going to play out at Crown Jewel.
It's going to be Tyson Fury's going to knock Braun Strowman out.
In 5 seconds?
No, maybe it'd be like a 5th round thing.
All right, here we go, Charlotte. Once again,
here's
Bayley.
Here's a trivia question I want you to answer for me. I don't know the answer, but maybe you do. How many times has a guest, a non-wrestler person, but like a guest, lost?
I can only think of one person, Kevin Federline.
Oh, but he's nobody. I guess he counts though. How about a pay-per-view? Because Kevin Federline was Raw.
I guess I don't. I guess I can't say anything.
Yeah, I have not seen unless they were a special guest in the Royal Rumble. No guest has lost a one-on-one fight.
All right, looks like Bayley's attire is starting to be a little bit different now. Because you've never seen a hood on a jacket before.
Do you think... Well, yeah, she's a villain now, so she's like, I'm so crazy. I'm a villain.
They really got to face out those hug buddies or whatever.
Well, but they're hug villains. They're bad guys. Like, now we're mad at about. Oh, she shaved her head? Oh, I thought she shaved her head.
She's no longer doing the ponytail.
What's it saying? Oh, she's NXT now?
Oh, she's a psycho chick.
Oh, she starts off all happy and then she goes bipolar.
This could be a good heel gimmick for her.
Watch, she should go and start cutting up the hug buddies.
Yeah, looks like it. Just take a look.
Dude! I called it. What's she about to do?
Time to cut them up.
I knew it!
Yeah,
Dude! Dude, how I call that? I called that.
Hey, another thing we're noticing is like Bayley got a haircut. It's about time too. That makes her look older.
Her trademark. Dude, I just said that she should just start cutting them up. Because she's a heel, she should start cutting them up. And she did. They won't go down. They weeble and they wobble, but they won't go down. No, she's got them.
Bayley looks more like a woman now than a child.
Or recently she looked like a YouTuber. Look, Charlotte's like, whatever. Charlotte's like, whatever. Throw your temper tantrum.
All they need to do now is give her...
How much do those things cost? That was an expensive segment.
I want to venture thousands of dollars.
That was an expensive segment right there. You have to take it
At least she's not wearing the stupid ponytail anymore. She got her hair cut and now all they gotta do is give her a new theme song.
They should have a wacky waveable inflatable arm man match. Where like wacky waveable inflatable arm men surround the ring, but maybe they have like barbed wire all over them, and they have to.
Well, in the meantime, this is an intense match.
It's like
man, people slapping each other, and here we go.
It'd be like a what's the match where people surround the ring again? Lumberjack.
Neck breaker.
It'd be like a lumberjack match, but with wacky waveable inflatable arm men that are covered in barbed wire. That'd be nuts. Look, Bayley can be a heel all she wants, but she's still not as good as Charlotte, and that's what they're showing right now. She can be angry.
All they need to do is to make her dominant.
Charlotte's really good though, and I thought what's crazy. Every time I see like women's matches, I'm like, yeah, but they're just not as good as Charlotte. Like Charlotte, for some reason, she just has kind of the it factor for the women's division. You don't think so?
Mm-hmm. That's why she's a 10-time champion.
Yeah, but some people were mad about it. Why were they mad about it?
Well, because they're jealous that Charlotte has charisma compared to most women.
Well, I saw. Well, it's like the internet community didn't like it, is what I'm saying. But I feel like she's just so good. Like she's like a bigger, like she's like kind of like she's like tall. She like dominates the other women. Like she's like a taller woman. She like can move. She has like the powerhouse moves. She can do this springboard type moves. She's kind of like the full package. She can sell real well. She's good at selling and playing her character in the ring. Like she's good at like ring psychology. Like she's really good at ring psychology compared to the others. Like what is all Becky Lynch had going for her was charisma going into WrestleMania. She had some pretty good charisma going to WrestleMania.
Yeah,
but she could not capitalize on it.
Becky does not have very good in-ring psychology compared to Charlotte. That's why Charlotte is a 10-time champion, and Becky Lynch has a very meaningless championship belt.
Yeah, well, they're trying to keep it on her because, I mean, she's a good in-ring performer, and she has like this weird attitude about her, and she's very modern. Like she and this whole oh, I'm the man gimmick. Like I'm the man gimmick. Like that's a very modern take, and she pulled it off pretty well going against Ronda Rousey. Like during the whole build up to the Ronda Rousey match, she pulled it off. Like she pulled off a very nice like Stone Cold Steve Austin type character. Like she's basically a woman version of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
You sure Becky Lynch isn't a woman version of Goldberg?
No. But when they were building her up, and so she's kind of, she's kind of kept the persona of when they built her up, but there's no reason to do that anymore.
Especially
that's the problem.
With Ric Flair suing the WWE.
Well, she's not. The thing is, she's not being held down anymore, like she was. The whole gimmick of like Stone Cold is like, oh screw authority and stuff like that. But now we kind of know that the authority are probably behind her. Like she's not an underdog anymore, and therefore she just has no reason to have this weird attitude. Like no one's against her. Like Stone Cold Steve Austin, unless Stone Cold was heel, when he was face, like the bosses were always against him, and that's why you always rooted for him. It's like F the bosses. But with Becky Lynch, you immediately know that the bosses and executives are pro Becky Lynch because she matches an identity that fits with modern times.
The problem with Becky Lynch, the biggest problem I had this year, ever since Becky Lynch won the title of WrestleMania, was WWE exploiting her relationship with Seth Rollins.
Well, yeah, I guess they had to do it. And that's probably why they both have championships still. So they can have weird championship storylines where Baron Corbin attacks her to make Seth Rollins mad and stuff.
Okay, back to the match we go. Bayley is
somehow it looks like Bayley.
Top.
Looks like Bayley somehow turned it around and is now the dominator of Charlotte.
I honestly think Bayley looks better with her haircut.
Bayley doing a lot of heelish tactics, waiting for the count to while she's choking someone on the ropes. Quick pins for no reason.
We've got to hear a new theme song from Bayley at some point to solidify her heel turn.
No, I think every time she comes out, she should just chop up her wacky wave inflatable arm men. Like she should, every time she comes out, she should come out all happy, get mad, and then chop up her wacky wave inflatable arm men. It'd be a really long, lame, it's a really long entrance, But I think Undertaker has a longer entrance, so I think they can do it. They can find a reason to make it work.
I'm gonna say this though, Charlotte as a babyface doesn't cut it for me.
Well, is Charlotte a babyface or is she like neutral?
I guess she's more along the line of neutral because nobody's cheering her.
Well, yeah, she hasn't done anything babyface like.
Yeah, because she's always done something heelish. That's her nature.
Well, because wasn't she still technically a heel at Hell in a Cell?
Yeah, I think so.
See, so I mean, like this right now, we're basically seeing heel. Well,
heel versus tweener.
Well, neutral versus heel. Because Bayley's a heel now, obviously.
Oh, look at that! Over the top rope.
That's pretty stiff too. I mean, it seemed like a stiff landing. Like she did not, like she was hit directly. She did not like jump backwards with it or
you've
nothing.
never seen Ric Flair do that before.
Ooh, chopping the tits. Oh, ah!
Those chops are non-stopping in the center of the ring too. And now she goes down.
Is Charlotte on SmackDown?
She's been on SmackDown, yeah.
No, I didn't know if like she was mentioned in the draft or anything.
I don't think she's been drafted yet, so you're gonna have to tune in on Monday for further details.
I guess. I mean,
on the knee.
See,
that's a heel move.
Yeah, see, I'm telling you, she's new. Like she's like, Charlotte is like, she can win clean. Charlotte's one of those heels that will win clean, but also be like really aggressive and mean. She's like an aggressive heel.
Oh, look at that! She's got blood.
Is it her blood?
I think Bayley punched Charlotte in the mouth or something.
Is her mouth bleeding? I don't know what's bleeding on her. Is her tooth?
Could be, but there was blood on her face.
What's she doing? Oh no!
Oh, you gotta be kidding me!
This is face.
Moonsault off the steel railing.
That's kind of a face type thing.
Yeah. There's some blood. You see that?
Oh, she accidentally, when she did the moonsault, she kneed her in the face, I think.
I think that's a receipt for what Bayley did to Charlotte.
Watch. What hits her? Maybe nothing. No, maybe when they fell. I don't know. It was kind of a miss. I don't know. It looked like she grabbed her face, like her mouth, like she hurt her mouth somehow.
I know Bayley working on the knee of Charlotte.
Like, it didn't seem like a legitimate. I wonder if Fox will allow blood.
Hopefully. And Charlotte kicks out of the Bayley to belly. Oh, and Bayley's getting angry now.
Oh, belly to belly. Bayley to belly, I mean. Is that what it is? Bayley to belly?
Oh.
So if we do enough of these, we'll make a specific group, and we'll start making social media profiles for wrestling with alcohol. Wrestling with alcohol. I keep wanting to say opinions and beer because it's like the other show,
but this is a different show because our focus is on drinking and wrestling.
Yes, it's mainly the wrestling, all wrestling. The drinking is second nature, where opinions and beer, the beer is first nature. Goes for the figure four. Oh,
face first to the second turnbuckle. Oh, look at this.
What a lame pin. Oh, I like dirty pin.
There's got to be more to Bayley than just doing dirty pinfalls. She's got to do more heelish stuff. Like that right there. I don't think Bayley's been drafted, so we'll have to watch on Raw on Monday.
Oh!
Now that is a pretty damn good suplex right there. Knee to the corner.
You know what I wish wrestlers did more often, Ed Ray?
Choking?
No. Wrestling moves.
I remember when heels used to do chokes with stepping on a throat with their foot.
I'm just saying. I feel
There's
like
the elbow.
I think most of this match has been
Kick out.
most of this match has been weird strikes, or like
Bailey's getting in the face of the referee. This is heelish.
wrestling just used to have wrestling moves in it. Even
You know what I wish WWE would legalize again?
like what?
The pile driver.
Right.
Because I think I saw it in natural selection. That's it. Oh, look at that. Great reversal. She got the championship belt.
Oh.
So
No, look, Charlotte's mad now, though.
Bailey's finally got some new music.
Oh, I hear it. It's like metal.
That solidifies her heel turn.
Well, look, Charlotte's heel, too, though. So this will be a weird heel versus... Oh, look, her face is all bloody.
Oh, she got punched in the nose. You could see it.
Oh!
We thought she was going to get it right here, but look at this. This is classic Ricky Steamboat style pinfall.
Poor Charlotte. No, look. If they want to make this a legitimate heel versus heel, then Charlotte has to do something. Well, look, maybe Becky's gonna. Maybe Bailey's gonna try to give her. No, Charlotte's gone. She left.
And this is the conclusion, I think.
Four. Oh, 40 superstars can be drafted? So Lesnar's
Watch this.
Or say, hello, bitches. Hey, bitches. Hey, bitches. She said, hey, bitches.
And now the crowd's finally booing her.
They didn't bleep it at all. Can you say bitch on Fox?
Apparently you can. I know you can get away with that on another wrestling company, but I'm not going to mention the name.
Okay. What the hell? Hey, bitches, screw all of you. So okay, so that's their official. That's their way of turning her officially heel, is by calling the fans bitches. Okay, so overall, what's your opinions of the WWE draft tonight and the second episode of Smackdown on Fox?
Generally, the draft was lame. And as far as this episode is concerned, while it has an interesting ending, I think the show sucked.
There wasn't really matches, were there? There was like 2 matches? Or 3 matches.
Maybe 3 matches of interest.
But they were long matches.
Yeah.
So
and then you had the draft going on. But the biggest problem is all the sports analysts, commentators that are not even relevant to wrestling.
Well, they wanted to feel like legitimate. You know what I mean? They're going for a weird new take with the new season.
Well, hopefully Raw will be better.
Hopefully Raw will be better. And we will be back for Monday Night Raw. This was wrestling with alcohol. We like to wrestle with alcohol. No, but we like to chat wrestling with alcohol. And we're going to try to do this as much as we can. We're not sure if this will go anywhere. This may be just a short period thing, but we're going to try to see where this extra show goes to, especially with like a limited schedule for Opinions and Beer. Opinions and Beer is kind of it kind of runs on a limited schedule, so we're thinking about with us entering our second year for Opinions and Beer, we really want to start doing like more shows, like more separate shows that we can produce, and that way we can have sort of like a continuous stream of content rather than just the once a week deal that we've been doing with the Opinions and Beer stuff. And hopefully we can figure stuff out and get more things going and get more traction with things. Obviously, next week is our 1-year anniversary with Opinions and Beer, and we'll see what we do. We haven't really that much planned. Like we said, it's kind of hard to focus because we Opinions and Beer has been kind of like subjected to a 1 day a week thing, and so it's kind of hard to plan around one particular day. As you know, anything and everything that can go wrong will go wrong, and it's proven to be the case. In fact, we actually recorded an episode for Opinions and Beer recently, and some recording stuff went wrong, and we kind of lost that episode essentially, and we got to find a way to re-record that episode one day, hopefully soon, and hopefully by the year anniversary, and hopefully we could figure out something special to do for the year anniversary, but we might not be able to. And because of that, and because of the limited schedule for Opinions and Beer, it only makes sense to start doing more shows other than Opinions and Beer, just to have that, continuous stream of contact and content. But Opinions and Beer will always be Eamon and Adam, and then, so I think with Wrestling with Alcohol will always be with Ed Ray and Adam. So that's the thing. So that's what we're going to go on with, and I hope you enjoyed Wrestling with Alcohol, and I hope we can continue on and bring you more episodes.
Until then, this is Ed Ray 1416.
And this is Adam, Psycho 4873, Psycho 180.
And that's it for Wrestling with Alcohol.
Woo!